Hi there. So I'm going to expand on this swimming trigger um, for Ultimate FPS that Patrick Auden and the team over there at UFPS put together. Um, so I am going to post the script that they created um, to the forum here on this forum page. Plus, I'm going to add in this script that I created, which this script is basically a trigger. So you've got the untrigger enter and exit, so that it just turns on or off camera effects. So let me show you what the end result is going to look like. So I have added this information to the hero player, and when I jump in this, if I go under the water, you'll see that the camera effects come on. Let me turn my inventory on real quick. So you'll see the weapon is even blurred out, but if I'm out of the water, above the water, the effects go away. So if I walk out of the water, the effects have gone away and I'm no longer swimming. I can't, if I hit the space bar to jump, I just jump. Under the water, it actually turns on free fly mode. So I'll show you how I did this in the video. The first thing I did was I created 3 cubes. The first cube is 30 by 10 by 30, and I turned off, I removed the collider, the box collider, and I put it on the layer, the water layer. Then I added another cube that is almost exactly the same size. Instead of 10 high, it's 9.5. So this one, the box collider, is a trigger, and I've added this VP swimming trigger script that I'll be posting, and it automatically assigns this local player and it sets up this swimming state as well. On the water effect trigger, it's a duplicate of the other ones, but it's only 8 tall. So basically, when the character is above this, they're still swimming, but the effects go off. So it's kind of like your head is sticking out of the water, but you're still swimming. So the effects go off. And the effects I put, so I've got I'm using these image effect scripts from the standard assets. So there's different image effect scripts. So what I put on the FPS camera was this color correction curves. If you just go to add component, image effects, color adjustment, you'll see this color correction curves. So I set it up, I just kind of tweaked this until it gave me the effect that I want, and notice it's off. And then on the weapon camera, I actually put the blur optimized on here, and it's the same thing. You just go over here to blur, and I use the blur optimized. So I'm using these 2 scripts, and if you look in my right here, so these are the examples that I'm using. I mean, you could turn fog on or off, but I kind of like these 2 scripts. So what you would do is you would change these 2 items to be whatever you're using, and then you're going to need to change this part so that you're getting whatever component it is that you're going to turn on or off. Okay, so for this script, the first thing I do is I'm using the standard asset image effects. Since I'm using these 2 different image effect scripts, this is needed for their namespace reference. I'm setting up my namespace. I put all my scripts in my own namespace. And then, so I've got public blur optimized. This is the name of the script I'm using. So right here, blur optimized. And then the same thing for the other one. And I've got a player, a layer mask, and I'm adding a reference for the VPFP camera, which is on the FPS camera. So for my on trigger enter, I'm checking to see if whatever the collided with this, if it's in this layer mask. If it's not, so if it's 0, then just return out of this. I'm doing it again down here. So once it passed this test, it's going to assign the camera, and it's going to run this turn on function. And same thing when you exit, it's going to run the turn off function. So for turning it on, I'm going to grab the blur optimized script out of the component children, and I'm going to add the color correction curves out of the children as well. And right here, I'm just going to enable it. So since this is the turn off, so enabled is false, and right here, enabled is true. So I've already got them on. Basically, it's going to just turn this on or off. That's all it's going to do. And that way, it's just going to, as soon as you enter the collider, it runs this one time, and when you exit, it runs it one time. It doesn't keep checking it over and over again. The swimming trigger does a lot of the same stuff. It sets up a bunch of stuff for when you enter or when you exit. So I figured it would be best to have two different triggers, one for the effect, which is lower because your head's going to be sticking out, and the other one for your volume of water. So you're going to want to set up trigger colliders wherever you have water, and you're going to want to add the swimming trigger there, and then you're going to want to add whatever you're doing for effects there as well. The next thing, on all your players, you're going to want to go to this where the VPFP camera script is, and you're going to want to add a new state. So just click add state, and you type the name of it. And then you're going to add this preset, which the UFPS team created. I'll post a link to that. So you'll add the camera swimming preset there. And then on the VPFP controller right here, since this one has this free fly, you're going to need to add a state here for swimming, and I'll add this as well. And it has the pieces, and they added what they've modified. So basically they're turning the free fly on. So they also posted some swimming weapon presets, but I'm not going to post them because really what you would need to do is you would really need to set up your entire state for each individual weapon. So I'm not going to apply any kind of a swimming state to the weapons themselves. But what you would probably want to do, like on the mace, maybe make it where it swings slower or something like that. So, I mean, that's it. I'm gonna post a link to the forum page, so that you can watch the video of what they did, and then at the bottom of this list, you'll see the scripts, and I'll post a link to the presets as well. All right, thanks a lot.